Gas prices rise throughout the state as a result of the pipeline leak.
And students share some roommate horror stories. I'm Brianna Goins.
And I'm Jael Pembrick. News from around the state and campus next on Carolina News Today. An oil pipeline leak in Alabama has been blamed this week for gasoline shortages and price hikes around the state. Governor McCrory activated the state emergency response team to coordinate government fuel use. Speculation led some people to top off all their vehicles. Locally, some gas stations ran out of all but regular, and prices went up nearly 50 cents per gallon on average. North Carolina Attorney General Roy Cooper has issued 7 subpoenas this week to gas stations accused of price gouging. Colonial Pipeline says they've managed to bypass the damaged area in Alabama with a new section of pipe. Governor McCrory cautioned consumers.
It will still take several days for the fuel delivery supply chain to return to normal. And I want to emphasize that. It will still take several days for the normal fuel supply chain to return to normal.
McCrory asked the Environmental Protection Agency to temporarily relax rules for gasoline vapor collection during transfers from fuel suppliers.
I'm also calling on the EPA, the federal government, to temporarily waive vapor collection regulations during the transfer of fuel at our ports to help more efficiently fill tanker ships and trucks. This is a problem right now, and we've got a long line of tanker trucks at our ports at this point in time because of the very stringent vapor regulations, which we would like a waiver to temporarily stop that so we can get these trucks to the marketplace as quick as possible.
A freshman roommate dispute via email went viral before those young ladies had even arrived at campus at UCLA. It got us thinking about some of your worst roommate situations have been.
Basically, I had a roommate and she was writing in her journal about me, and she was writing into detail how she wanted to kill me. And then she would say that she loved me, but she wanted me dead. But then, yeah, it was really crazy. And she had into detail like what she needed to kill me, like she wanted my blood on the wall, all that.
The second month, it came out that she was pregnant and she already had like 2 kids and all this stuff. Well, throughout the semester, like certain things would come up that she was lying about, and she had like fantasies with different people. And at the end of the semester, she had no kids and the pregnancy was fake. And it was a dude she was with that she really wasn't with. Like, she had just a fantasy, like was her life, and she ended up not doing too well in school, dropping out, and faked a couple more pregnancies, stuff like that.
She has gigantic posters all over the room of dragons, like gigantic dragon posters all over the room. So I was like, okay, like this girl's a little odd, but whatever, like it's cool. Well, she introduces herself to me and she says, oh, I'm so-and-so. And I was like, okay, cool, I'm Bailey. She looks at me and she's like, so do you do drugs? And I was like, no. And she was like, oh, okay. She's like, well, you don't do like heroin or anything. And I was like, no. I was like, so I was thinking, I was like, this girl's crazy, like, oh my God. So then she told me, she was like, by the way, she was like, sometimes when I do it, she was like, I like pass out, so like don't be scared if you like see me on the floor with like needles or anything. And I literally freaked out. Like, I was so scared. I did not stay in my dorm for the rest of the semester.
She started stripping her clothes off. I'm like, where are you going? What? And she tried to lock me out my room. She tried to walk outside with her underwear on. And so I tried to save her multiple times. I'm like, screw it. And she started taking everything out her desk. And she's like, let's go to, I forgot what my suite mate was at that time. I forgot what her name was. And they're like, let's take the party over here. And she started like dancing. She started dancing over there. I'm like, no.
Fortunately for me, as a commuter, I haven't really had to face the troubles of dealing with a roommate, but I know that you live around campus, Jael.
Yeah, I have some suite mates, and they have weird smells that come out of their room, and it comes into my vent.
Wow.
Messes with my allergies. But I have these plug-in air fresheners, and they really make my room smell good, and it blocks out all the weird smells. So air fresheners.
Air fresheners are key. The North Carolina Division of Motor Vehicles is now offering driver license and special identification card services to soldiers and family members at Fort Bragg. A mobile unit will be on base 2 days a week for 3 weeks out of each month. The mobile office can be deployed in almost any location and will replace the older RV-style units. The return of these services is part of the state's Driving Change initiative. The Native American Speaker Series on campus brings points of view not usually heard in the mainstream media. This week they brought Indigenous teens from Central America to discuss a documentary initiative called Unlocking Silent Histories.
UNCP students and community members learned about the Mayan culture this week in the UC Annex. 2 Native American programs shared cultural traditions through film and creative works. The founder of Unlocking Silent Histories, Donna De Janeiro, sat with young people to ask what they would like to learn more of in their culture, and if anyone was interested in being a part of the program. De Janeiro says the program helps youth use their creativity to share language, traditions, and cultural understandings around the world.
And so this was a way to illustrate the knowledge and the I'm going to say Spanish words. So it's a way for them to demonstrate what they know and what they can teach us, and we can see the world through their eyes.
The Maya Traditions Foundation was also there to share traditional weavings and how they are made. People even had the chance to view and buy some of the artisans' work. The audience had the opportunity to ask organization members questions and see youth produce documentaries. Educator and team administrator Carmen Portillo enjoys teaching others about her culture and why it matters.
And she became involved in it because of Donna, and Donna came up with the idea of a vision, and she didn't understand it at first, but at a later date she began to see the meaning of it, and she saw it as a way to cement their culture in world society and to show the world that they exist.
For Carolina News Today, I'm Sayla Lobin.
UNCP soccer teams win in rainy weather.
And Braves receiver BJ Bunn makes it on ESPN's Top 10.
CNT Sports with Deja Dykes is up next after these messages.
The Braves football team breezed past Shaw University Saturday, winning 38-19, extending their record to 3-0. Khalil Hollis led the Braves defense with 5 tackles, including 1 resulting in a fumble. Rick Mack gained his first collegiate touchdown reception in the game while also catching 5 passes for 67 yards. The Braves had a total of 257 passing yards to end the game. Redshirt senior Cliff Jones led the Black and Gold's ground game with 14 rushes and 64 yards. Teammate Rontonio Stanley found the end zone as well, contributing to the Braves' 184 rushing yards. All-American BJ Bunn led the Braves in passing yards, adding an unbelievable catch and a clutch third-quarter touchdown to secure the win for the Braves. The Braves will be back at home for Parents and Family Weekend to take on North Greenville. During the game, Braves receiver BJ Bunn registered his 4th career 100-yard receiving game, hauling in 6 passes for 109 yards. But it was this sick catch that made ESPN's Top 10, a one-hander that put the Braves on the 1-yard line, setting up the score that followed. Check it out. If this doesn't get someone noticed, I don't know what does. In high school football, the Fighting Scots in Laurinburg kept their undefeated record when they beat New Hanover High School 40-14 in a blowout game. In the Fighting Scots' first drive of the game, quarterback Sergio Gibson hands off the ball to Barry Campbell, resulting in a touchdown. The Wildcats answered back, scoring a touchdown on their first possession of the game when quarterback Blake Walston threw a long pass to his intended receiver, tying the game 7-7. The Fighting Scots scored another touchdown on the next possession when Gibson launched a long pass to Austin Smith. Gibson and Campbell connected again for another Scotland touchdown, bumping the Fighting Scots up to 21. Late in the second quarter, Zamir White made an impressive run, but there was a flag on the play, resulting in no touchdown for the Scots. And Scotland edged their score to 27 before halftime, with Gibson connecting with Zamir White for a long pass in the end zone. That final score again, 40-14. For just the second time in the program history, the Lumberton High School football team has a female on its roster. CNT reporter Dontavian Harris found out what's got her going.
It's all good for Lumberton senior high kicker Alexis Ard. A perfect 9 for 9 on the season, the soccer star turned kicker has no trouble scoring goals, but the equipment is just a little different.
Challenging, kicking the ball is completely different. First of all, like one of them's a circle and the other one's not a circle. So it was just different having to kick it at a different place and finding the sweet spot, I guess.
And speaking with head football coach Mike Setzer, we found out that trainer Matt Farrell approached him a semester ago about Alexis joining the team. Coach Setzer agreed to speak with Alexis and granted her a tryout. She made the team, but Coach Setzer had some conditions for himself.
We thought it was really important to make sure that she wasn't a publicity stunt and that, you know, she understood that there was one gamer or close serve that she's about to lose her position, and then she stepped it up, and kids had to see that she has to work every week just like everybody else.
Coach Setzer also spoke about her work ethic and how she meshed with the team. We spoke with a few of Alexis' teammates who all insist that Alexis is just a part of the team and is treated as such.
We treat everyone the same, so as she's an asset to the team as well as everyone else.
You know, she's a girl, we block the same way. You know, if somebody talk reckless to her, we got her back just like we got everybody else back.
Alexis has tried just about everything from soccer to ice hockey and said that football is just something she wanted to try. We asked her teammates if they think she'd play at the next level, and their answers were almost uniform.
She can. If she just work hard, stay focused, she can do whatever she wants to at this level and at the next level.
When asked if she'd try to play at the next level, Alexis smiled and said, if the opportunity comes along, she thinks she could possibly play. For Carolina News Today, I'm Dontavian Harris.
The UNCP women's soccer team shut out Clayton State University Wednesday in their home opener, winning 3-0. The Lady Braves struck first within 45 seconds of the game when Carly Rochelle took advantage of a Caroline Sanchez shot on goal. After being up 1-0, the Braves added to their score with Christina Stevenson striking the ball in the top left corner of the goal from 23 yards. The Braves put 12 of their 13 shots on goal, while Clayton State fired 6 of 16. The Lakers failed to find the back of the net despite outshooting the Braves. Rochelle secured the win for the Braves, taking on the Lakers goalkeeper and converting 2 of her 4 shot attempts. UNCP is back at varsity grounds on September 24th to play Columbus State. The UNCP men's soccer team came out on top in Wednesday's Peach Belt opener against Clayton State, winning 3-2 in a close match. The game was delayed for rain, but the teams took the field within 30 minutes. The Braves' victory secured their perfect home record while also giving the Black and Gold their second straight home victory in the series. The Braves led the Lakers to the 2-0 in the first half, but CSU came back alive in the second half to tie the game, 2-2, with 7 minutes left in the half. The Braves' scoring was led by Jordan Walshaw, who got 2 goals, one of them being the winning penalty kick. The Braves will be back at home once again to take on Chowan University on September 24th. The volleyball team continues to struggle in the season, losing 3 straight sets against Lander over the weekend. The Lady Braves racked up 51 digs, their second best mark in a 3-set match, but were unable to hold on against the ladies of Lander. After falling behind 1 set, the Lady Braves had a close second set, 15-13, but Lander took 10 of the 14 points to win the set and complete the sweep. Freshman Caitlin Leach led the way for the Braves with 3 kills and 1 error on 11 attacks. The Lady Braves are back in action at home September 23rd against Montevallo. And that's all for sports. Back to the studio.
Thanks, Stasia. That's all we've got time for.
We'll see you next week.
Be sure to check us out on the web at carolinanewstoday.com.
Can you hear it? Can you feel it? It's the Braves Beat, and it starts now. All right, Braves fans, here's what's going on this week in UNCP athletics. Men's soccer will host Chowan on Saturday, September 24th at 3:30 p.m. On Wednesday, September 28th, Catawba comes to Pembroke for a 7 p.m. game. Women's soccer will have a busy week of their own with a home game against Columbus State on Saturday, September 24th. The game begins at 1 p.m. Then on Wednesday, the Lady Braves hit the road for a Wednesday game at Georgia College. The volleyball team has matches this week, all at home. On Friday, Montevallo comes to town for a 6 p.m. contest. On Saturday, Columbus State hits the court for a 2 p.m. match. And finally, on Wednesday, Francis Marion makes their trip to Pembroke for a 7 p.m. game. The men and women's cross-country teams will be competing in the NCAA Showcase Invitational in Nashville, Tennessee. The golf team will head to Bluffton, South Carolina for a battle at the Old South, presented by UNCP. The tournament begins 9 a.m. Saturday and concludes Sunday morning, starting at 9 a.m. Finally, the football team will be hosting North Greenville on Saturday for a game under the lights. Kickoff at 7 p.m., but the fans will be tailgating way before that. So make sure you check out the whole Braves game day experience. And that's the Braves Beat. If you're looking for more info, go to uncpbraves.com and check out all things Braves. Until next time, I'm Brandon Ford for the Braves Beat. Ciao.